It's a month before spring training, I'll have a job. And that's why when you asked me to do this, I felt like it was a perfect thing for me to do, not just because of my story and my journey of where I came from to where I gotten to, but it was the first time I had like a mental breakdown. And I actually had to seek someone that's been in my corner, someone close to me at a level I never thought that I would ever get to. And I think that's where over our years of working together, we spent a lot of time, and I was never afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'll tell a little bit of the story, at least how I experienced it, right? Because I arrived at the Blue Jays, my first job in professional baseball. No, I've watched it as a kid, but you can hear from my accent, I'm not from around here. And so I wasn't super familiar with the game, but I was familiar enough with working with pro athletes and doing this sort of work, right? Talking about mental strength and getting stronger and a lot of exercise on that front. So doing psychology, but not so much in the clinical sense where someone's had a breakdown. There are other people who do that for the teams. I'm more on the strengthening side. But even that still is problematic for some people to make the approach and to admit or open up and say, hey, what do you do? Like, can you help? I'm having this issue or that issue, or even some people aren't having issues and they just want to talk about their game, right? And there are two guys who I did a lot of work with in that year that you and I connected a lot. One of them was a good friend of yours as well, Just Smoke. And both of you came to work with me a lot during spring, but I want to know how you got to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that, because you hadn't done that previously, right?
Yeah, it wasn't something that was available. It was always someone who was more there for family, off the field problems, but there was never someone there that you could just talk to about, hey, why am I feeling this way right now? Why is my attention being taken from my performance? And I'm thinking about things that should matter in the moment right now. And I think that's where we spent most of our time. And, you come into the clubhouse, and I remember maybe our first interaction, you introduced yourself and you basically said, I'm here to help. And I told you the most important thing for you to do is gain the trust in guys. Don't force yourself on them. This is a new thing in the game that people want to know that they can trust you, right? Because once again, there's a stigma around people in your line of work and potentially sharing, especially in the baseball world. Your personal information is so important because we all
it
feel
can
like
be used against you sometimes.
Yeah, we feel like in this game, everything is used against us. There always a reason not to sign us, pay us, play us, whatever it might be, right?